Let's spend the day aboard the Disney Fantasy.
Hey there, MamFam. It's our second day on the Disney Fantasy, and it is our day at Nassau.
But because this is a new to us ship, we're not getting off. We like to spend as much time as we can exploring all of the things the ships have to offer. So we're going to stay on board and check out more things to do on the Fantasy.
But first, breakfast and coffee, please.
Coffee always,
Yes.
As you can see, we are not alone in our choice not to get off in Nassau. I find most people don't get off the ship in Nassau. For breakfast today, we are headed to Cabanas. This is the buffet restaurant on board that's loosely Finding Nemo themed. You've got this incredible 30-foot tile mosaic with some of the Nemo characters in it, over 200 different colors in this bad boy. You've also got some of the mine seagulls up above here. I feel like this one's judging me. There are also some not Finding Nemo details that I love, like the sandcastle art of the different castles around the world, as well as the clocks with what time it is in all the different Disney theme parks around the world. Both don't have Shanghai, though, because that park didn't exist when this ship was built. Also, I appreciate the fact that they have changed the puns over the food dishes to be breakfast-related puns. On the buffet this morning, we had a couple of different breads, croissants, pastries, as well as 2 varieties of Eggs Benedict, some classic breakfast options like bacon, sausage, and eggs, and what Disney cruise is complete without some Mickey waffles. Also, the signs have cute surf wax names on them that are references to other characters and 1998 when Disney Cruise Line opened. Surfing US eggs, hilarious. We continue on with a few more carbohydrates, both of the sweet and savory variety classic toast, which they do have a toaster, as well as a variety of pancakes. The more savory things like hash browns, mushrooms, and vegetables. There's also a lox salmon station and egg fried rice. The bounty continues with a grits and oatmeal station, fresh fruit, cereal, and in the back you can also get made-to-order omelets, yogurt, smoothies, and more carbs. As far as your drinks go, Joffrey's coffee is available, as well as teas and sodas. I will mention that it is unique that soda is included on a Disney cruise. On many cruise lines, you have to pay additional for a soda package, but it's all you care to enjoy throughout the ship on Disney Cruise. Should you want to zhuzh it up, though, at breakfast, there is a bar in the back of Cabanas that serves not only bottled water, and there's no line, so pro tip, get it here if you want to take it out to the pool deck, as well as beer, liquor, wine, etc. Here are our plates. I got a Mickey waffle, obviously, a croissant, and some classics, and I do always look forward to the fresh fruit on board.
And I saw that they had some ham and cheese croissant sandwiches that were pre-made, and those spoke to me. So did the din bran, so did some sausage. Literally, this is a smorgasbord, and I'm going to do a sampling of each.
Do you need some butter?
No.
Okay.
It is a good Sammy. And also it's like a mini Sammy, so I don't have to have a big honkin' croissant.
Yeah. You know what time it is?
Sexy waffle board?
Sexy pour. It's been a while since I've made everyone mad, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on the eggs and sausage right now, too. I know, it's the weirdest thing because I don't love sweet things, but I do love syrup. Buddy the Elf and I have that in common.
You know what? I think I have something.
And I do like a little sweetness on my savory breakfast items. Alan's mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. But as long as it makes you happy.
Shout out to the egg guy. Or gal. Or, I don't know who the egg person is, but there's an egg person on board. I'd like to reiterate, probably not Humpty Dumpty. He's dead anyway. But
what is happening this morning?
I'm just trying to say that there's a person that their whole job is to make eggs because they're all made fresh. These are not powdered eggs, and I think that's cool.
That's a key bit of info right there. Not powdered eggs.
But we went on such a delightfully whimsical tale to get there.
We just strolled through freaking Candyland to get there.
Ooh, the sausage is good.
It is. I put the sausage inside the ham and cheese croissant, so it's a ham, cheese, and sausage croissant.
You should put egg in there to make it like a breakfast sandwich.
It's already, what makes this not, it's a sandwich I'm having at breakfast.
I guess anything's breakfast food if you eat it at breakfast.
It's true.
Sometimes at breakfast they have churro Mickey waffles. They didn't have those out, but people go nutso for those.
Also, the idea of a traditional American breakfast is very much an American thing. Mm-hmm. Around the world, not the same at all.
Which is why there's fried rice at the breakfast around the world section.
Let me tell you, I've had it before. Very tasty.
Mickey waffles are great. They're the same batter, the malted batter that they use in the parks. So you've got that distinct, delicious Mickey flavor. Perfect way to start the day. Overall, I would say there's nothing on the breakfast buffet that's like mind-blowing as far as like it's not anything unique, but it is classic breakfast food done well, and that's the perfect way to start the day. Ooh, it's mint.
As Molly has so beautifully shown us, there is some ice cream available here, spelled ice cream for Mike Wazowski. There are flavors that are standard every day, like your chocolate and vanilla and the swirl option, but there are going to be at least one new flavor featured every day, and today, mint.
I've never had mint before. This is very exciting. It's so good. This is dethroned strawberry is the best flavor.
And then directly next to ice cream, you have Frozone's incredible smoothies. This is where you can pick up, as the name would suggest, a series of smoothies as well as some alcoholic beverages. These are for an additional charge though, so just be aware if you want one, you have to pay a little extra. Oh, and they also have Dole Whip, and you can get the Dole Whip with rum. Okay, say less. Continuing our walk throughout the ship, and you might be looking at this artwork and saying, wow, look at this really neat Snow White artwork. This is really just so, oh, looks so nice, her, and dopey, and what the actual nonsense am I looking at right here? Look at that dopey. Look at him. Look at it. I need you to just look at that. What is, no. No, I say.
We got one of the magic elevators. They're so cute.
There's the house.
My house.
Kevin's on top.
All of the fairies.
Oh,
Dumbo. The Incredibles. Hi, Mom. Oh, look at Donald. Oh, cuties. We are gonna enjoy the adult section on the pool deck now, starting with Some Cove Cafe, which is the adults only specialty coffee shop. And I love the design of this. It's the same as the Dream because it's all about Walt and his travels. So there's some really fun pictures around the coffee shop of Walt living his life, being the man. Look, there's a magic painting right there. You got a little magic. 3 caballeros coming on by. Walt living his best life at Disneyland. Also, this is also a bar, and this bourbon cart is catching my eye right now. I think I'll be back here for an old fashioned at some point. I love this picture in particular of Walt and his wife Lillian dancing. So this is just a lovely little oasis for a nice coffee. There's a couple other specialty coffee spots on board that anyone's welcome to go to. This is an additional cost, but the adults-only one is nice, especially because it's attached to this large adults-only pool deck. And I should note that while the coffees and beverages in here cost extra, the little treats here do not. So if you'd like a little cinnamon roll or muffin or something, feel free.
Coffee acquired, and we now find ourselves up here on the main pool deck where you have Funnel Vision, which is the screen where movies and other things will play throughout your time here on the ship. This main pool deck is for families of all ages. You also have in the back corner Nemo's Reef, which is a children's area. I'm not going to film that because that's pretty darn creepy. You also have a kid slide there with a Mickey glove holding it up, and I think the most iconic feature of this pool deck is the Aqueduct, which is a slide that takes you all the way around this deck, and it is a large water coaster-like slide that, well, at least for one of its slide riders, didn't go very well. Donald has found himself lodged inside of the funnel.
What's crazy about the Donald thing is that in the queue, frozen. In the queue for the Aqueduct, it shows you the story, and it's that Huey, Dewey, and Louie built the water slide, and Donald rode it too early, and so he flew off into the space and then landed there on the ship. But in the story, he's wearing a bathing suit until it flies off, as you see here. But like Donald never wears pants ever, so why does he need a bathing suit?
It's true. Those are the questions that haunt us. Why no pants, but also when getting out of shower, need a towel?
We'll never know.
We'll never know. But for now, we are headed into the adult section of the ship. One of the biggest highlights for both the Dream and the Fantasy is the size of the adult section here. Not only do you have your own private pool for those 18 and up with a swim-up bar location, and not only do you have the reserved area on deck 11, you also have on deck 13 some reserved seating too. Plus, there's an additional satellite pool at the rear here. Rear here? What a rhyme. All right, well, if you need us, we'll be here for the next little while.
This is so nice.
It is.
I love how big the adult pool area is. It's like there's literally no one around us right now. It's perfection.
Ideal.
Yeah. Okay, this is the second time we've seen this in the adult section. They have some of the towel art on display, and it's adorable. I've never seen the turtle. But we had a nice relaxing time up on the pool deck, and now we're headed to one of my favorite things on a Disney cruise, the Rainforest Room at Senses Spa. Senses Spa is a full-scale spa where you can get things such as massages, facials. There's also a barber shop in here. This is also where the fitness center is. But the Rainforest Room is just, as I always say, peak luxuriation. And for science, we had to book it again because it's been a dream of mine to compare every Rainforest Room on the Disney Cruise Line fleet. The Rainforest Room has a variety of showers with different scents, water pressures, and light effects. There's a couple different saunas, whirlpools, and my favorite, the heated tile chairs, the perfect place to take a little siesta. Rainforest Room can be booked in advance for length of stay. It's $99 for the whole cruise this length, or you can do day of for $39. Just note that it's not available every day, and it is first come, first serve. So if you're planning on spending a little bit of time here, I do recommend booking it in advance. We're following the inspiration journey that was, I've never seen in a Rainforest Room before, but it was when we first came in, there was an order to do everything for the best experience. So we are rule followers and we're doing it right now. We're on step 3. Also, there's literally no one in here right now. Why don't people book the Rainforest Room? It's the best. I feel like it's gonna be hot on my butt. What's it like to have swim trunks and your butt not get out?
That's good.
Oh, this one's nice.
It's not as hot.
No, it's not as hot. It's way better. Step 4, the steam room.
Oh, so steamy.
So steamy. Look at this great footage. So hot. Do you know what this feels like?
What?
Florida in July. In fact, I think it's colder in here.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
It's miserably hot in there. Next step, the chairs. Hopefully there's 2 open. We did it. We did all the steps. We're amazing.
Okay, so we've just arrived back at the room after some luxuriation.
Couple of things. 1, Rainforest Room on this class of ship, number 1.
It's elite. I mean, it's not as big as the Wish or the Treasure, but the fact that you have the outdoor hot tubs with a nice scenic view.
That's my favorite part. And I like that the view from the chairs is scenic. And I'm really proud of us for completing all the steps on the journey to inspiration.
Well, do you feel inspired?
I do. I felt inspired enough. Oh, also as we were leaving, no one was in there when we first started.
Yeah.
And then as we were leaving, it got very crowded. And I think that's because it's
Coming
closer
back from their
to
excursions.
Yeah, it's closer to all aboard time. So another good reason not to get off the ship in Nassau is we basically had it to ourselves for a lot of the
100%.
time.
And afterwards, listen, I think we might be fools. We went to the smoothie and juice section on the side of the Senses Fitness area and picked up a smoothie. By the way, those smoothies, $3 a piece.
$3. They had a bunch you could choose from, or he said he can create whatever you want with all this fresh fruit, and they had protein powder and $3.
$3. So yeah, I got a strawberry banana smoothie with protein powder, coconut water, and some chia seeds for me. No chia seeds for you.
Delicious.
And I finished mine on the walk back. It was very tasty. Not to mention the fact that we sampled a ginger juice shot that
Woke me right up.
yeah, sure did. But in any case,
We're going to zhuzh right now and then continue with some fun onboard activities. I hear there's a mystery to solve.
and you know what? We are investigative journalists.
That's true. Professionally.
All right, we are going to sign up for the Midship Detective Agency. This is a investigative discovery mission. There are 2 different missions available. One with the Muppets. One, it looks like, with the puppies from the 101 Dalmatians. Wait, there's 3. Okay, there are 3 cases. The case of the plundered paintings, the case of the missing puppies, and the case of the stolen show. There are different numbers of magnifying glasses that signify how difficult each of these are going to be. We've already done the case of the stolen show for the Muppets. Let's do the case of the missing puppies. So you will pick up a map, a pencil, as well as your detective badge.
This is gonna be a tough case to solve.
Okay.
Meet Roger and Pongo.
Pongo and I are desperate. Some of our puppies have been puppy napped.
Definitely Roger.
Napped? Oh no.
Disaster.
We need your help to catch that criminal and
Okay.
get those puppies back.
We can do it.
And that means you're gonna have to search all around the ship.
Okay, so what I love about this game is that it makes you go all over the ship to these magic portraits, and we have to figure out, it's one of these wily devils. Let's start right here.
There it is, right there.
What is it?
It's a scorecard from that clever game called Mini Golf.
This must be a clue.
I like the idea that the villains are playing mini golf.
Smudged. But look at that.
We are officially on the case, now headed up to floor 3 to find another portrait. A handy thing about the crime scene map is that it gives you the location of all of the potential portraits that you may utilize to help uncover and solve this mystery. I can't wait to utilize my badge, our badge, to uncover what is happening in this devious game.
Good work.
Mama, with
Good
power
work,
tools.
detective. Puppies!
Bravo! 2 puppies rescued.
Cutie patooties.
Escape. Finding them means we're on the criminal's trail. Keep up the good work.
We will.
Good job, Alan. Got those puppies back.
As we move to our next portrait location in an attempt to root out the evil and villainy, I do want to let you know that there are 2 places where you can sign up for the Midship Detective Agency. They are both, interestingly enough, at Midship, as the name would suggest, one on deck 5, the other on deck 2. Deck 5 was a hop-in spot. There was a queue to actually get in there and get signed up. Deck 2, nobody there. So my recommendation, head down to Deck 2 when you'd like to sign up. Our trajectory has taken us by the Buena Vista Theater, which is the movie theater on the ship, and it shows a whole host of movies, a lot that may have just released, including Captain America Brave New World that literally just released yesterday. And they also have some new releases like Mufasa playing. None of that matters now because we are on the trail of evil. Oh, hey, Walt.
There's something in there that could help us.
Cruella. She was sent to jail today in London.
So she couldn't have done it.
Couldn't have been Cruella. She was in jail, incarcerated.
Right, discovery detectives.
Wow.
This means we
You,
can take
you,
Cruella off the suspect.
you think she would be an obvious suspect, but
Well, you know what? Cruella has committed a crime. And what happens when you commit crimes and are convicted of them? You go to jail.
Hi, Snow White! The journey continues, but I do feel like there's maybe more characters on this ship than I'm used to seeing. I feel like there were a lot on the treasure, but like we just saw Snow White just walking about. There's a lot of princesses, because we've also seen Cinderella, Princess Jasmine. So, I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of characters. Mulan just feels like there's a lot of characters, and maybe characters you don't always see.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we are going to have to put our detective work on hold for the moment because we have an activity booked very soon, and it behooves us to get a chicken tender before.
Hello from the adult area where we're gonna eat chicken tenders. But I really love that game. I think it's more fun than the game on the Wish. And I like that you can leave it and come back. So whenever we want now, we can just use our card and get back on the case.
En route to our next destination, and as we walked by the Buena Vista Theater, they were playing the Jaws theme, and I've never seen Molly turn around and walk to a direction like a moth to a flame so fast in my entire life. Thankfully, though, the allure of our next stop brought her back to us.
That was just bingo, by the way. For some reason, they were playing the Jaws theme during bingo.
Oh, well, you know, why wouldn't you? It seems like it adds up to me.
Did they have a license to do that? Probably not.
Shh, we don't talk about it. Anyway, we are headed next to a tequila and margarita tasting class. I love these types of classes. They're a great way to learn about a specific beverage and the history of it, as well as how it can be prepared. And we've done these before in the past, but the best part about them is that different bartenders can create different lineups for their classes, and they're full of new fun facts. Now, the classes can range in price. This one was pretty reasonable at $45, but I've seen them go as high as $100 per person for something like the Reserve whiskey tastings. And for me, I think it's just such a good opportunity to try something new and maybe learn something. And isn't that what everybody wants to do on vacation? Learn something new?
Learning is cool.
Learning is cool, everybody. Our class today takes us deep into Europa as we move into the Skyline Lounge. So we'll see you on the other side.
How long the farmer have to wait to get a mature agave?
4 years.
4 years?
4 years.
Minimum 7 to 12 years. Why they are waiting for that long years? Yes, the agave gonna grow up to 8 to 9 feet high. Half a shot. And let it roll it on your palate. Do not take whole straight in. Let it roll it on your palate. Let's stay on your palate. Let it mingle. Just try to bite. Let the half shot turn into full 1 ounce. And that is what we call
Legs.
A B V. Mild like oaty stuff. A bite of oak. A slight vanilla caramel at the mid. Go ahead. Don't fail. Don't pitch time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know the business now.
You can do it. And get back.
And then we're gonna come reverse.
That looks like easy.
Okay, reverse the ball low. Very good. Yes, and you can pass the ball.
That's a
to
professional
anyone
right
else.
there.
Bring up your shoulder line. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Give them a big round of applause. And very aftertaste. Very long finish.
That was a ton of fun.
I loved the bartender that did the class. He was very interesting. I love the fact that we both got to make a cocktail. We're professional bartenders now.
Along with the delicious cocktails, though, you did get to learn some new things. What was your favorite fun fact?
My favorite fun fact about tequila is the salt and lime is tradition going back to Prohibition. Because of that, when people were trying to get around the Prohibition laws, you couldn't make like 100% alcohol, so you had to make something similar to alcohol, and the thing that they made for tequila ended up being really slimy
Like gel
in
based.
consistency, and so to get it down, you would do the salt and the lime, and that tradition carries on today.
For me, there was a section of tequila called mixto, which is younger agave that is sort of half harvested before it hits that 7 to 12 year mark.
And it's got sugar mixed in.
That has sugar mixed in, but it has to have at least 51% of that agave, and then the rest of it can be mixed in sugar, which is probably why, in the instance of like Jose Cuervo, you'll get quite the headache.
At the beginning, our bartender said, who has good memories with tequila, who's got bad memories with tequila, and who has no memories with tequila, but so many people have bad memories with tequila because they're drinking this one that has so much sugar in it, Jose Cuervo, because it's not actually full tequila, which is very interesting. So again, love doing these classes. I think they're a really good price for what you get. We got to try sample, it's not full shots. You're not drinking you're probably drinking throughout the class 2 full cocktails maybe.
I think that's generous and accurate.
But it's enough to make it worth it and try a few new things.
And now we're going to get changed because we have to go see Frozen
Yes, for the first time in forever.
in 8 months.
Tonight's show is Frozen. Super excited. We saw this one on the Wonder in Alaska, and it's wonderful. So I'm very excited to see it again. One of the best things about sailing on Disney Cruise Line is the Broadway caliber shows that they do. Each ship has 3 different productions. If you're going on a longer than 3-night cruise, then they'll do other smaller shows in the meantime, but there are 3 headliner shows. They perform these shows 2 times a night, and it rotates with your dining. So if you've got later dining, you can see the first show and then go to dinner, and then vice versa. Last night was Aladdin, which I'm not gonna lie to you is not my favorite. I tend to enjoy the what I call montage shows better, when there's like a bunch of different characters all mashed up together. But 2 main exceptions to that. Moana on the Treasure is far and away the best show Disney's ever done at sea, but second to that is Frozen, and I'm very excited to see it again. Also, unsurprisingly, the theater on board is called the Walt Disney Theater, and I love that in the stairways, the art that they have matches kind of where you are on the ship sometimes. So we have this amazing giant portrait of a young Walt sketching Mickey Mouse.
Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out. like you've gone away. For the first time in forever. Don't let the news don't get it. What I'm dreaming of. And here I stay. Let the storm rage on.
They're just so talented.
Elsa in particular was very, very good. Let It Go is probably the hardest Disney song to sing, and she crushed it.
It's up there.
She was wonderful. No matter what, even if you think you don't like Frozen, which, like, come on. No one's too good for Frozen.
Like, come on.
Come on. The puppetry of that show, as well as the stage, the way they use that, it's a really, really good show. I highly recommend it. Also, I'd like to retract my previous statement that said the only single movie shows I like are Moana and Frozen. I also like Tangled. Tangled on the Magic is very good.
I think that's a testament to how good these shows are. Normally, I am a big fan of the montage shows, but Frozen, again, just to echo your sentiment, I think does a really, really excellent job in translating to the stage here aboard the Disney ships. So it's just so far on the wonder and here on the fantasy, it's worth a watch. All right, our rotational dining this evening is Animator's Palate, which on the Dream and Fantasy is the Turtle Talk with Crush style show, as opposed to on the Magic and Wonder, the more sketchbook Phantasmic style show.
I love the Phantasmic Mickey version a lot more than the Crush version. Plus, we have reviewed this menu many, many times. It's the same across all Animator's palettes. We have reviewed it on the Dream,
Yep,
the Magic,
yep,
the Wonder,
Yep.
the Magic again,
Yep.
and the Dream again.
yeah.
So
I gotta be honest, the menu at Animator's Palette, not my favorite.
with the exception of Black Truffle Persets.
With the exception of Black Truffle Persets.
Thank you.
So instead, what we're going to do is we are going to perform a pub crawl down at Europa, where we are going to each location across Europa and either do an activity, grab some food, or grab a beverage at each spot.
And we're starting things with trivia at the Tube.
At the Tube.
Jolly good times, mate. We are headed to London and we're gonna board. I shouldn't do accents.
You sound like you're from London.
You sound like you're from London. I'm just modeling things after the best person with an accent.
Paul Rudd for
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
Nobody does a more authentic accent.
yeah, nobody does a better Cockney
Oh,
accent.
it's a jolly holiday with Morley. Let's go.
My genuine apologies to anybody who's actually from the UK.
Europa is the adult area on the Disney Fantasy, and honestly, so far a real highlight. I love how they've revamped this into each of the lounges being themed to a different European location. And again, the Tube, if you couldn't tell by my sweet accent earlier, is London. We are in the UK. Some of the fun details in here, if you look at the seats, they look like tickets. You've got the handles right here and the clock right here. Above the bar is supposed to be Big Ben, and if you actually watch the lights change from red to blue, it is actually counting down, and it is a true clock functioning. So we're gonna play 90s music trivia in here to kick off this pub crawl.
Hernan, pick up.
I can feel something inside me saying, I really don't think it's strong enough now.
Is she here? Next, we are headed to Ooh La La, which is the champagne bar on the Treasure. But we could not help but notice this number here, 688, which is the whole number of the Disney Fantasy. If you recall from our trips on the Disney Treasure most recently, where they have all of those different numbers within Periscope Pub, for corresponding to all the different hull numbers for the ships in the fleet, it's nice to see the representation here as well. But in any case, headed now to Ooh La La, which is the champagne bar on the Fantasy, as Molly is just drinking her water and hydrating before she dehydrates inside of Ooh La La, which is very important. This is a lush champagne bar. This is a much more lush experience now, and I'm excited to sample some of the delights here.
Now again, this is primarily a champagne bar, so you're going to see lots of different bubbles available, as well as some champagne cocktails. On the Disney Dream, we have enjoyed the Ring of Bubbles, which is a duo cocktail sampler, but tonight we decided to go for the trio. Not only are we trying to make it through this entire pub crawl, but it seems like a fun way to try a couple of different champagnes. The trio consists of about half glass pours of the Moet and Chardon Vintage, Moet and Chardon Imperial, and Moet and Chardon Ice. Personally, I love Moet Ice because it's designed to be served chilled over ice with some fresh fruit, so it's perfect for me as far as sweetness level goes, but it was really fun to try the others as well, and the bartender showed us that on the 2015, there is a QR code on the back of the bottle, which you could scan and see the exact tasting notes for that particular vintage. Additionally, the bartender surprised us with a little macaron sampler, which we happily tried. My personal favorite, the strawberry macaron.
I love the pistachio. That was just so nutty and delicious.
And honestly, overall, I could not believe that no one else was in this bar with the piano going and the champagne. It was a very fancy and lovely experience.
If you are here and on the Fantasy, you absolutely have to check this out. It is a travesty that we were there alone. What a fun, unique, and intimate experience.
I should be talking to you about O'Gill's Pub, the next spot, but I can't help but talk to you about it from here, inside Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. Wow. I feel like I'm Harry Potter in Book 7 as they run away from all the Death Eaters. Okay, so we went to Ooh La La. It was beautiful, and I can't believe we were the only people in there listening to a beautiful piano player. But now we're headed to O'Gill's, which is the Irish pub, for some pub grub. This is food available at an extra cost. It's things like a Bavarian pretzel and wings. But that's going to be our dinner tonight, so we're headed there now.
There is a pub on every single Disney Cruise Line ship, but you can only find O'Gill's Pub on the Disney Magic and the Disney Fantasy. And here there are a variety of beers that you can pick up, as well as a full-service bar. And after 6 p.m., a extra pub grub menu, which we have found ourselves and are going to sample this wonderful evening. And on the back wall there, you can see a portrait of Darby O'Gill and the little people. Darby O'Gill, of course, being the leprechaun as he grants a wish to a fish, it seems.
Or is the fish granting a wish to the leprechaun? We'll never know.
We'll never know. You know what? Either way, I'm okay with it. But that same fish you see granted here upon the sconces that house the lights throughout the pub. This is such a fun spot to sit down and immerse yourself into some very deep-cut Disney lore.
Also, you can watch sports.
Yes, you can also watch sports here if you don't want to immerse yourself in Disney lore.
People love sports, Alan. I don't know if you know this, but people love sports.
I've heard that.
Some people watch the Super Bowl not just to see Taylor Swift or Kendrick Lamar. Some people watch it for the sports.
Yeah.
I learned this too recently.
Not me yelling at the television, scaring some of my friends in real time.
No, I watched it for commercials, but I learned some people watch it for sport.
That is true. And as some people as me. But this is a great pub to sit down and grab yourself a brew and maybe relax and take yourself out of the helter-skelter life on decks 11 and 12.
Our pub grub dinner has arrived. We have gotten 10 wings. We've gotten both Hades Hot and Buffalo, favorites of ours, as well as the Margarita flatbread, which I've not seen on another pub grub menu at another ship, and the trio of dips, which I've also not seen before.
It also looks like more of a quartet of dips.
He brought us extra guacamole.
Oh, well,
Shout out to the crew.
The crew makes the magic. Also, you're watching us test this new stand in real time. So if anything goes wrong, I blame the tech.
I love a wing.
And
She's saucy.
Cheers. This is pretty standard flatbread, thin crust, good amount of cheese, love the arugula and the tomato. Everything's fresh. Is it anything I'd write home about? No. But if I'm jonesing for some carbohydrates and I want to feel healthy about it, I'm probably going to go to this.
The wings are like weirdly good on Disney Cruise Line. Every time I have them, I'm like, that's nice. This is no exception. These are actually hot, being the Hades Hot. They actually have heat, which I appreciate. Love the ranch. Can't go wrong with a good wing. How's the buffalo?
This tastes like a good moderate to mild buffalo. The wings are truly excellent on a Disney Cruise Line trip.
The chips and dip are like you're at a ballpark.
Yeah.
And you ordered nachos.
Uh-huh.
So they're fine. I think if you've been drinking, they'll probably hit the spot. But for me, I was excited to order them because I hadn't seen them before on the menus, but I prefer the other things. I also like the pretzel, but we've had that before. We reviewed that before. Mostly I like the wings. That's my number one recommendation.
I will echo that sentiment. Go with the wings. Regardless of what sauce you choose, the wings themselves are going to be cooked well. They're a standout in every ship.
Also, killer ranch. Very important. And our final stop for the night, considering we did our beverage tasting in Skyline earlier, I feel like that counts, but we are gonna have a drink at La Piazza, which is themed after an Italian square with an old-fashioned carousel in the middle here. You got some live music going, you got the carousel lights, even the seats look like being in a saddle. I love it. Ever gonna be is me. We love someone that can make money off a hater diss track. Unsurprisingly have a lot of cocktails and beverages that feature Italian aperitifs and beverages. For me, I decided to try the Escalus, which is made with Maker's Mark bourbon, Campari, Bottega Limoncello, fresh ginger, orange juice, and freshly muddled mint leaves. Honestly, the strongest flavor here is definitely the ginger, so if you don't like ginger, do not order this drink. It was very refreshing and zesty. I enjoyed the mint. I wish I could taste the limoncello a little bit more, but overall it was a bitter, gingery, not sweet drink. Very unique, something I haven't had before, and I would enjoy again.
And for me, I picked up the special infused Negroni from La Piazza. This is infused with juniper, almond, and coriander, amongst other herbs and botanicals. And I have to tell you, this was a very bitter drink, which is right up my alley. I do enjoy Negronis in that way. I could certainly taste the bitterness from that juniper, some of the pine flavorings coming through. But for me, that's exactly what I'm looking for in a drink. However, if you're not a fan of that style of beverage, I'm not sure I would recommend this specific infused Negroni from this bar. Okay, that is a pub crawl completed. What's your favorite spot?
I have to give it up for La Piazza. Not only do I love the carousel infrastructure with the lights and the saddle seats, but the bands that was playing tonight was really good. I just like the whole vibe in there. What about you?
For me, it's tough. I love O'Gill's just as a standard Irish pub, but also Skyline for their cocktails are incredible. It's a toss-up for me.
We definitely have to go back for those infused old fashions on another non-pub crawl night for sure.
I agree. But tonight, though, we are headed back to the Tube, and we are going to catch some of the late night games.
Yes, they do late night adults only game shows on the cruise line, and tonight is Match or Mate, which is like the newlywed game, and it's really funny, so we're gonna go watch that. But in the meantime, let us know what your favorite Disney cruise line ship is and what else you want to see from the Disney fantasy.
And until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and come join us on Discord. We would love to have you. The links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it has been so magical.
Bye.
Good night.